I didn't flinch when she said it. I didn't need to. The air in the room did the trembling for her. My aunt's voice was sharp, confident, hungry. She had rehearsed this moment for months, her face smoothed into the kind of smile people wear when they believe the world has finally bent in their favor. But I just sat there, hands folded, watching her crumble without even realizing she had already begun. I always preferred quiet revenge. It leaves more room for the confession that comes later. This one. I grew up believing Aunt Lila loved me. She wasn't my mother, but she played the role long enough that the lines blurred. She braided my hair for school. She taught me how to make karahi the way my grandmother used to. She clapped at every small accomplishment as if I were hers, and I let myself believe it. People like her need believers. They feed on it. That blind devotion is probably why I missed the first signs. A missing document here, a miscommunication there. Her sudden hostility when I visited my grandmother, territorial almost. Then the way she whispered when I entered a room, pausing too long before pretending she wasn't speaking about me. I dismissed it. I was raised to respect elders, not scrutinize them. But love makes you soft. Betrayal makes you sharp. The night my grandmother died, my aunt didn't look at me once. Her eyes were trained on the lawyer instead, calculating, expectant. I noticed that before the tears even dried. Then, 3 days later, while I sat alone in my grandmother's room, still breathing in the faint smell of her jasmine oil, I found a crumpled note on the dresser. A list. A long one. Jewelry, money, land titles, bonds. Every asset my grandmother owned, already labeled for distribution. Not a single item next to my name. My chest didn't tighten, my hands didn't shake. Instead, something cold settled inside me, a quiet understanding, and with it, a plan. I didn't confront her. Confrontation gives power. Silence collects it. I visited the lawyer myself, calm, composed. I asked a simple question. Did my grandmother update her will recently? He shook his head. Not in 14 years. My name. Only mine. That was the truth written in ink, notarized, witnessed, filed. Not even my aunt could bend a document like that. But she didn't know I knew. Not yet. So I played the obedient niece. I kept attending family meetings where my aunt spoke about our collective inheritance as if the matter was already sealed. I nodded when she assigned herself the house, nodded when she assigned my grandmother's jewelry to her daughters, nodded when she looked directly at me and said, "There's nothing here for you. Your grandmother knew you had your own life." I nodded so well she never saw the knife I was sharpening behind the politeness. I waited for the perfect moment, the will reading, her stage, my trap. So now here we were, my aunt leaning back in her chair, triumphant, my cousins smirking on either side, the lawyer flipping through pages he already knew too well. I watched her confidence age as she saw his frown deepen. "I don't understand," he said slowly. "There's no distribution list, no division instructions, no secondary beneficiaries. The entire estate is left to one person." Her eyebrows arched. "Yes, to us, to the family." The lawyer cleared his throat. "No," he said, "to her, to your niece, the sole heir." Silence detonated in the room. My aunt's face cracked first. Just a flicker, a tremor at the edge of her jaw. Then the realization spread, slow and devastating, like ink bleeding across fabric. "This must be a mistake," she whispered. "It is not," the lawyer replied. "It's legally airtight." All eyes shifted to me. I met her gaze, steady, unforgiving. "You weren't invited for a reason," I said softly. Grandmother never planned to leave you anything." Her breath hitched. I leaned forward slightly. "But you already knew that, didn't you? That's why you tried to divide everything before the will was read." Her lips trembled. What have you done?" "Nothing," I said. "I just let the truth speak for itself." Truth hurts more when you think you've already won. Her collapse was silent, shoulders sinking, face draining, a lifetime of entitlement slipping through her fingers like sand. And I felt no guilt, only the warm, clean burn of justice finally taking shape. When I stepped outside the lawyer's office, the sunlight hit me like a new beginning. I breathed in, unhurried. Revenge is rarely loud. Sometimes it's just knowing the inheritance they stole in secret was never theirs to touch. Sometimes it's the quiet dignity of walking away with everything they tried to bury you for. I didn't just win. I reclaimed what was already mine. And that was enough.